Recognized in the Caribbean, United Kingdom, and North America as a great dramatist, comedian, and author, for over 55 years, this superb artist has spoken of and for the Jamaican people, with such understanding, with such love, and with such acute appreciation of her people. Her use of the Jamaican dialect to comment on social and political happenings has endeared her to all sections of the Jamaican community. This public romance between Miss Lou and Jamaica began over 55 years ago.
Well, you know, people always ask me if I'm born in the country, if I was born in the country. And I said, no, I'm born in Kingston, born under the clock, you know. When people are born in Kingston, they say, born under the clock. Well, I was born on 40 North Street on a Sunday afternoon, the 7th of September. I'm Virgo. 1919, the 7th of September. I grew up mostly in Kingston and partly in Spanish Town. You know, while I was growing up in town, I loved it. I tell you, my mother always told me about the country and the songs and all that. And I used to hear the Jamaican folk songs on the streets all the time. The digging songs. To me, they were always digging up the streets of Kingston. Everywhere, as you go into school, you hear, "Umana heavy hilo," and all that, you know, and "Chichimada," some of them are hala, some of them. And I used to love these songs right here, and we would listen to them and so. And I was always wondering why we couldn't sing these songs in school. There we were singing, "Flow gently, sweet afton," and we didn't know what was sweet afton. And my dear, with them all these strong, lovely songs being sung on the road. Anyhow, my mother, although she was born she lived in Spanish Town and lived in Kingston most of her life, she spent the first 11 years of her life in St. Mary, where she was born in St. Mary. And look here, St. Mary, she never forgot the country. She lived in the country all her life. I always say to her, I say, you must have had a very happy childhood in the country, because she tells you about the rivers, the birds, a lot of the things I know about the country. I used to hear from my mother long before I ever went. But what I really wanted to do was to write. Gosh, I wanted to write things, and I would write, make up all kinds of things, and started to write verse too. Yes, and people would say, foolishness. Well, write what? But then if you write, when you write, Miss Rob, where should I work? The only place I can work with writing is Gleaner. Anyhow, I wanted to write. Of course, I started writing first in the standard language about the sun and the sea and things, I run along a road very lined with trees, singing to the lazy tune of the breeze. And all that, very bugoyaga. And then, but I didn't feel all this.
Come make me hold your hand. You know it? You can't sing it? You don't want to think sing. Everybody, come make me hold you. Come make me hold you. Oh, wait. You know this thing I happen too often, Somebody has said your hand. Listen, man, it's not your hand, it's your hand. Now pile up the culture. Listen, that's true. Thank you for that, not pile up the culture. Now, you see, when I used to go to school, they used to sing some song about, we never sing, come at me hold on, They used to teach me to sing, do you ken John Peel at the close of day? Do you ken John? Oh, yeah. Now, do you ken John Peel? What a crisis. No, they did not say, do you know John Peel? They said, do you ken? Them talking them for them language. So when me attack my language, I must say, your hand. I say, your hand. If you can't ken John Peel, you can't say your hand. All right. This long time, y'all may never see you. It is a long time. Come let me hold. Peel it. Peel head, jump, come, sit down. Pick up the blossom, let me hold. And Anton. This long time, girl, me never see. Not very long. This long time, girl, me never see. He'll have John Jones in them. Pick up the blossom, back with me, Anton. Back with me. Now we're going to walk and talk. Walk and talk. This long time, girl, me never see. To the mentor. You know the mentor part? Make me be like John till we talk. Make me hold your hand, yeah. Make me be like John till we talk, yeah. Make me hold your hand,
Dialect was the language of the ordinary Jamaican and the language that Miss Lou felt most comfortable with. Undaunted by the lack of interest in her dialect poems when she first took them to the Daily Gleaner, when finally published, they were an instant success.
One night, when I was just a little before I left school, I must say that part. That part was this man came to the thing, to the end of term performance, and this man was well established in the theatre. He was doing chalk talk, and they used to call him Chalk Talk Coverley.
I went to Excelsior College and met her at a breaking up.
After the show, I got a book, you know, they gave me for outstanding literary something or other. And I took this book to this man and said, please to write something in there. And he said, very something talent.
So I wrote on the autograph, great success to you. You possess great talent. Develop it. And sign my name. That's the first meeting of with Louise.
The next thing I know is one evening I go home and my mother said to me, a man came here and wanted to come and recite at a concert. And it was Eric Coverley. And I said, I'm not going to the concert or that. But he came so often and went to my mother so often about this concert that I ended up going. It was a Christmas morning concert. I went and I recited. And I got my first fee on the stage, 1 guinea. Oh, what a joy. I got a guinea. And then this guinea could I buy shoes. I buy a pair of shoes for 15 shillings and had change. Out of the guinea.
Eric Coverley put on a show, and she was on a show, I think, for the first time. I was on the show, too, and her act was terrific. People kept calling for encore all the time. And then, after the show, I went backstage to talk to her, meet her. And I was amazed at how shy she was. You know, she was a young lady at the time and very shy. So different from when she was on stage during the act.
The first professional fee I got was from a gentleman named Chalk Talk Coverley. Eric Coverley. Well, me and him used to sing a song, you know, and he used to do a chalk talk. I meet him when I was going to school. I did see him, and he did come to the school and do a thing. And he was a guest because he could do, you know, he could draw things and turn the board upside down and turn the board and turn something. And then I went and took my little book that I got as prize, and I say, Chalk, could you write something in it? And he wrote very unusual talent. That I mean, I recite some of the things that I want to know. So me dear, the next thing happened, me go home one day, my mother said, Chalk, come and say would like me to come and take part in a Christmas morning concert. So I say, all right, so the Christmas morning now, go to the concert, man, and do all the concert and so on. And then me see everybody line up, all the people who take part in the concert line up. And then I said, me don't know where them line up for, but me I go line up too. Me say, if I egg me in the red. So me join in at the line up, and guess what happened? see them hand out something and talk a hand. And when it catch up to my guy, him hand me the thing and when me open it. 1 guinea. £1. Me never knew them was paying. All the people doing £1. 1 guinea was plenty money them days, you know. Yes, me buy 1 slanders with it. Yes, me dear child. Night backless. Then we just come in and bed heel, yes. So my child, I count to 50 years from that. And then we broke up in New York some years after, man. And we started to concert, and we start singing things, this certain song all over New York. And the day we get married in New York. So when we come down the aisle, the day after we married, we hear a Jamaican voice say, the coconut tree bear fruit. This song we always sing was, Under the Coconut Tree. I'm going to call him. It's 36 years we're married this year.